So as you can see by the date, this is a very long overdue update. So all the way back on the 2nd of February, I took Triple out for his first little adventure in the lorry. I had done a bit of lorry training back in November with him. Another set of videos that I didn't get around to editing and posting.
Good start. You just can't work out where to go.
But yeah, I think I only did 3 sessions before he was happy going in and turning around and standing, having the partition shut and all that sort of stuff.
No. Good. And whoa. Whoa. Oh, well done, yeah.
So the next thing was to take him out. I was a bit stressed about taking him out, so we didn't video him loading, but he did actually walk straight on and was just really, really good. We boxed down to Fedder, which isn't too far of a drive for a first outing, and it's generally quite quiet and the car park's nice and big, so it felt like the right place to go to. He was a little bit stressed when we got there, understandably.
Good dripping nose.
But he actually was really good to kind of sort out and tack up. I had Matt with me, so I had an extra pair of hands to kind of hold him and stuff while I sorted things out. But to be honest, he was really good. I could have managed him myself if I'd needed to. So off we went on our little jolly jaunt. I'd only planned quite a short route, like 5k maybe a little bit more, because it was more about the loading and the travelling side of it than the actual riding. I'd even thought that if he was a bit upset when we got there, that I'd just walk him in hand for a bit until he was happy and then get on, or even just walk him in hand for the whole time. But to be honest, he was absolutely fine from the get-go, so I just hopped straight on at the car park. The handy bench there is quite a nice mountain block. He didn't quite stand as well as usual, but you know, you can forgive that in a strange place, and to be honest, one little step forward is absolutely nothing. Like, he corrected himself well and then stood nicely, so I'm fine with that. So we had a good hack there. We saw some walkers, some dogs, some cyclists, and even some really barky dogs that were running up and down the fence, and I'm pretty sure that that gate there is actually a bridle path gate, so those dogs shouldn't even be there. But anyway, I really couldn't fault him. The tracks were wet, it was slippy, there's quite a few low-hanging branches that I had to duck that I'm not really used to doing when I'm riding Dusty, and he was fine with that. There was some really stony tracks, like some kind of proper off-roading. I had to get off for a fallen tree and then hop back on him from the side of a bank. All things that we've done at home, but it does change when they're off away from home in a strange place. You know, everything could be a little bit different, but he was foot perfect.
It's okay. Good boy, so brave. Wanna have a look? Just some wood. This is, oh yeah, and a bag.
He was nice and chill then to be untacked and sorted at the lorry as well, something else that he's never obviously done before because he's never been out in the lorry, but there was no problems. And the last big tick of the day was that he loaded perfectly to come home as well. I was a little bit concerned that he would be a bit sticky and kind of revert back a bit, but he literally just walked straight on, so couldn't really have gone any better.
You alright? Good boy. Have these. Okay. No.
So with all that out the way, the next box to be ticked with him was to get out hacking in some company. So I was super grateful to have some friends box up to me to go for a nice walk, familiar environment with the 2 old boys, bless them.
Friends!
So these two were really, really good babysitters and everyone got along super well. Again, I really couldn't fault Triple. I didn't think he would have any problems with strange horses, but again, it's not something he's ever really done before. And the last thing I wanted to do was take him to a ride somewhere and then find out that he's not good in company and just have an awful time. So I think it was sensible to do this and just make sure that he was okay, at least with these two anyway. And yeah, he was really, really good. So the only logical next step was to combine these two things together and go out with company at the woods. So we went to Fedder again, made the most sense just to go to the same place, but I'd planned a slightly longer and different route. So he loaded and travelled well again, but I was on my own this time. So on the other end when we got there, I had to sort him out on my own without anyone to hold him or keep an eye on him. He does tie up well, but I'm not quite at the point of leaving him tied up whilst I get things out the lorry. So I didn't want to kind of risk that, so he kind of just followed me around like a big dog. I tacked him up easily and off we went with Triple's new friends. The route I had planned had a bridleway that I hadn't used before, but we all kind of said let's just go for it, and it was the steepest, longest track in existence. I felt really, really bad. All of these boys are veterans and Triple's definitely not fit. So we hopped off and walked up it. The oldest pony of the group stormed up without so much as puffing. Anyway, we survived, and just as we were about to remount, some deer appeared over the hedges.
All right. Oh, I'm glad I haven't got back on yet. Oh, there's another one.
Now, admittedly, my filming here was terrible, but I promise they were there. There was 2 or maybe 3 of them that kind of darted across the road and then back down into the woods that we'd just come through. But all of the ponies were completely oblivious. So once the coast was clear, we hopped back on and continued the journey home after our little off-road adventure. We won't be using that track again, I don't think. Probably avoid that one. The last thing we encountered was this lovely bouncy chap who we were a little bit concerned might have tried to join us at one point. We did get past with no problems, luckily, and to be fair, the boys were all on best behaviour. They didn't really worry about him, considering he really was herring around that field. They were all very, very well behaved.
Boy trip. Oh, you need a friend. Good boy. You're having a buck and a fart. Well done. Good lad.
So he really did fill me with confidence on this ride. So many things that he's never seen or encountered before, and he just kind of took it all in his stride and was perfectly behaved. I never really worried once about anything that we had to go past or anything that we saw. He's kind of given me the vibes that Dusty gives me, possibly even a little bit more chilled, which is great. There was another lorry arriving just as we got back, so we had 2 more horses in the car park, which definitely wasn't a bad thing. I was quite pleased to see some others so that we could kind of get that sort of show ride environment of other random horses and boxes being there. It just meant he was a little bit sticky to load. He was calling for his new friends and had these new friends behind him, was just being a bit nosy, but to be fair, no more than 5 minutes and we were on our way home again. The herd was definitely happy to see him once we got back as well. Now, since then, we've not been out in the lorry. It's in the garage currently, but when we're back on the road, we'll be out and about again. I've got some plans for some things I would like to do with him, some more boxes to tick, and especially now the weather is starting to improve a little bit, it would be nice to get going and do some more things. So these were meant to be a few separate videos, possibly even just for Instagram, so sorry for the amount of portrait clips, but let me know if you like this style of video, and do let me know if you'd like to see the loading practice I did with him back in November. I do still have all those videos. So he was pretty straightforward, but we did still have some problems to overcome, so it might be interesting to some of you here. Anyway, if you're still here, thanks for watching firstly, and yeah, I will see you in the next video.